Welcome back to another episode of Spooky Vault Reviews. Today we have a 3-film feature for you, and at the end of this video I asked you guys a Spooky Fam question. That question will be featured at the end of this video along with your answers. So today we're going to talk about Blood Salvage, It's Alive, the original, and Berlin Syndrome. So I hope you enjoy this. Let's get started with Blood Salvage. Now, the thing about Blood Salvage is it's a campy B-movie, but it could kind of happen, at least some of it could. It's about this man named Jake, and he has a junkyard on the side of the road, and they kidnap people and sell their body parts on the black market. It's really campy, and as a kid, my father had a junkyard, and all of the people in this video that were at the junkyard looked like the people who worked for my father. So as a kid, I was kind of questioning the people who worked for my dad at the time, because it made me really terrified of junkyards for a little while. So they kidnap this pageant girl who is in a wheelchair, and Jake gets the idea that he's gonna make her walk again and she's gonna be his wife, and they kill off her family. It's pretty gruesome, pretty crazy, definitely cheesy. Came out in 1990. Very cheesy acting, but creepy in a sense, because like, you never know if you're traveling. Is there really some psycho out there that's gonna kidnap you and sell your body parts on the black market? I definitely would think you guys should check it out, especially if you like the B movies. I think it's underrated. A lot of people don't like it because of its cheese, but you know, you can't go wrong with it. Number 2, It's Alive. These parents send their son away to their friend's house so they can have their baby be born. Their baby is deformed and is a monster, and it's going on a random killing rampage, and the father is trying to stop it. Demonic Babies, fantastic, of the 1970s. I've never watched the remake. I will, so I could do an episode of OVR, but right now the original one, the acting isn't half bad as you would think it would be for something from the 70s. It's kind of believable at the same time not. You notice that in the movie it's kind of like they're like blaming like contraceptives and like experimental drugs as the cause of everything, and it was at a time when, like, you know, stuff wasn't as out in the open as it is today. So they kind of threw a little bit of that in there, and the demonic babies just go around killing people. It's one of my favorite creepy children movies out there, so give it a go. And the final one is Berlin Syndrome. We watched this randomly scrolling through the internet. This girl goes across the ocean to a different country. She falls in love with this guy. He ends up locking her in his creepy apartment, and she tries to find out ways to get out. At first she thinks that, hey, this guy really loves me, and she basically finds out that he's done this to several girls, and he's a little wonky. Now, what was really good about this movie is that it's realistic. You hear about it all the time that people go missing when they're traveling alone, okay? And the whole time I'm watching this movie, I'm like, bitch, you're dumb. Because she's really naive, hopping from person to person and all that good stuff, and thinking that everybody's super trustworthy and everything's fancy, and then she finds herself in this really awkward situation, and how she gets out is, you know, the man takes pictures of her tied up in questionable ways, and he was a teacher and he was grading papers, and she sneaks one of the photos into the paper to be graded, and the student found it, and that was the only way that she was able to get out, and she ends up locking him in his crazy house. Very interesting movie, very realistic. Even though I've kind of spoiled it, I would give it a go because my description is definitely not as good as the film itself. And for the spooky family question, it was At Your Funeral, what song would you want played as you're being lowered into the ground. Mine would be Watermelon in Easter Hay by Frank Zappa. And here are your Thank you guys for participating in the Spooky Family question. Your answers are fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed this really quickly done episode of Spooky Vault Reviews. I will see you next week. I apologize for the noise in the background. I tried to find some quiet places to record, but until the studio's up and going, we just gotta keep on trucking. See you guys later. Bye.